Hi, this is Dr. S. Varliman, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. Now, in this PowerPoint, I'm just going to deal the last part of the polymer chemistry. Now, in this, we are going to see about the determination of molecular mass of the polymers by light scattering method, osmometry method, and ultracentrifugation method. Now, the first one is the ultracentrifugation method of determining the molecular weight of the polymer. Of all the existing methods for the molecular weight determination of polymers, the technique based on ultracentrifugation is the most complex one. So usage of the centrifugal force to separate the suspension is the principle of this method. So the basic principle here is the usage of the centrifugal force. Now the polymer molecules in this solution or the polymer molecules in a solution when it is subjected to a very high centrifugal force exhibits similar behavior and settle down. So as we all know, when any of the solution is subjected to a very high centrifugal force, there will be the sedimentation process which takes place. So in the same way here, the polymers try to settle down. Now the sedimentation rate of the polymer molecules just settling down under the influence of a constant centrifugal force is related to the molecular weight. So actually here the sedimentation rate has how the polymer molecules are settling down when a constant centrifugal force is applied is related to the molecular weight. Now using this principle, two methods are adopted to determine the molecular weight of a polymer. They are, first one is sedimentation velocity method, the next one is sedimentation equilibrium method. Now, what is sedimentation velocity method? The Earth's gravitational force makes any particle in suspension settle down. So, macromolecules in a polymer solution are also affected by gravity in the similar manner. However, the majority of the polymers form stable homogeneous solution and the polymer molecules present in them do not settle down. So now here it means that the polymer, the homogeneous solution will not settle down because it occurs as a single solution, whereas the other particles alone will try to settle down. Now why these are not settling down? This is because of a counterbalancing diffusion effect which always tends to keep the macromolecules dispersed over all the solution. So this opposing effect is due to the fact fast random movement of the solute molecule which possesses a fairly good amount of kinetic energy at ordinary temperature. So if the gravitational force is increased by any other means, then the latter can be made to settle down as sediments. So when the force applied is greater than the gravitational force, then the polymer molecules will try to settle down. So now in this method, the solution is subject to a very high gravitational force. The ultracentrifugation provides a spin as high as 65,000 revolutions per minute. By applying Stokes' law, it is possible to correlate the sedimentation coefficient S with the molecular weight m by using the following equation. That is m is equal to S naught, that is nothing but the sedimentation coefficient, R into T by D naught into 1 minus rho V. Now the next one is sedimentation equilibrium method. In this, thermodynamic equilibrium is achieved by practically equalizing the sedimentation and diffusion velocities. For attaining equilibrium state, the ultracentrifuge has to be spun at a lower rate for a longer period. Usually, The experiment takes several days to reach the equilibrium state because the ultracentrifugation takes place at a very lower rate. Now during this period, the centrifuge spin is kept around only 15,000 revolutions per minute. Under this centrifugal force, an equilibrium concentration gradient is established along the cell and the macromolecules get disturbed according to their molecular weight. Now this is shown in the figure in the next slide. Now see here, this is at equilibrium. Now here the polymer is taken in this test tube and it is rotated at a speed of 15,000 revolutions per minute. Now how is this taking place? So first the lower molecular weight settles down and then at the last is the higher molecular weight which will settle down. Now here this is the axis of rotation. This is the direction of the centrifugal force. So when you rotate it, the lower molecular weight will try to settle down first and then the higher molecular weight at the bottom. So at equilibrium, the molecular tendency to diffuse is less concentrated zone is balanced by the opposing tendency of polymer molecules to sediment. The sedimentation and the molecular weights are given by the equation which is given below. In this, M is the molecular weight, C and Cb are the concentration values in the cell at a distance of x1 and x2 from the axis of rotation, and omega is the angular velocity. The next one is molecular weight determination by light scattering method. Many natural phenomena such as rainbow, colorful dawn and dusk, the blue sky are in one way or the other connected to a phenomena called scattering of light, which occurs when light beam encounters matter. The light scattering phenomena is used to measure the average molecular weight of polymers. This is possible because not only a suspended particulate matter can scatter a light beam, but even solute molecules in a solution can also do so. In solutions or liquid mixtures, scattering of light occurs due to the change in density or refractive index within a system arising from compositional variations. In all light scattering phenomena, the amplitude of scattering is found to be proportional to the mass m of the particle which scatters the beam of light. However, it is the intensity of the scattered light that is experimentally determined and is the square of the amplitude. D by equation is used to relate the molecular weight of the solute particle to the intensity of the scattered light and is given in this slide. It is Kc by R90 is equal to Hc by tau, which is equal to 1 by m plus 2 Bc, where B is the viral coefficient, K and H are light scattering calibration constant, R90 is the Rayleigh's ratio at a 90-degree observation angle. This ratio is generalized case as R theta. In the above equation, the Rayleigh constant is a ratio is used to determine at an observation angle of 90 degree. Hence, R theta is equal to R90. This tau is nothing but the turbidity, m is the molecular weight, c is the concentration of the solution. Now, according to Rayleigh, R theta is equal to I naught R square by I naught V, where I theta is this intensity of the scattered light per unit volume. V is the volume, R is the distance, theta is the angle, I naught is the intensity of the incident beam. K and H are light scattering calibration constants and are defined by the equation K is equal to 2 pi square n square dn by dc the whole square lambda power 4 n of A, where small n is the refractive index, dn by dc is the change in the refractive index, lambda is equal to wavelength, where Na is equal to the Avogadro number. Similarly, H in this equation can also be written as 332 pi cube n squared dn by dc the whole square by 3 lambda power 4 Na. As we all know, Na is the Avogadro number, lambda is the wavelength, dn by dc is the change in the refractive index, and small n is the refractive index. Now, determination of molecular weight of the polymer by osmometry. Osmometry is a widely used technique to determine the number average molecular weight of polymers. It is based on the phenomena of osmosis, which can be described as the follows. If a pure solvent is separated from the solution by a semi-permeable membrane on account of the difference in the chemical potentials between the solvent and the solution, the solvent molecule diffuse into the solution through the membrane till the solution is rendered infinitely dilute. The flow of the solvent into the solution could nevertheless be practically stopped by applying any appropriate pressure on the solution side. Osmotic pressure of a solution can thus be defined as the pressure that must be applied to the solution so as to totally prevent the flow through semi-permeable membrane into the solution. The osmotic pressure that is represented by, that's just like a symbol pi, of a polymer solution is related to the number average molecular weight of the polymer by means of the relation by means of relations. A plot that is a pi r t c versus c therefore gives a straight line, and the coordinate intercept will be given by 1 by m1. For example, I have just given a plot of cellulose acetate of various fractions in acetone was plotted. The striking feature is that all the plots had approximately the same slope since the solvent used is the same. If different solvents are used, the plots will have different slopes. Now here certain questions have been given as the assignment, and try to go through this and find the answers. Thank you.